As always, I got delicious today.
Of course, I'm delicious today, baby. We gotta.
Yes, sir.
He said, "No, sir."
We got.
No, sir. I told Dave, man. I said, look, I'm not going to make him scream it up the street, man. At least we're like here one-on-one, small, intimate setting, so it wouldn't be it wouldn't be as weird today for sure.
Yeah.
So I think we could have got away with it.
like we at a restaurant. I'm like, what you gonna get delicious?
Yeah. Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. End town, Nashtyville, and I stay proud now. Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your main man, Young Gray. As always, this is Nashtyville, brought to you by Big D Sauce. Today we got Cedric the motherfucking Entertainer in the building today.
The man.
Ced, how you feeling, bro?
Right here.
What up, pal? What's going on, man? What's up? Started out wild off the top. We already...
Hey, Ced, that's how we roll, man. Like this is not a game.
I love it. Let's get it.
I feel like Ced when he was born, it was literally Ced the motherfucking Entertainer. Then they had to edit it down.
They edited it because mom and dad weren't going to follow through with that.
Yeah, exactly. My dad was like, "Hey, what about my name?" You know?
Are you named after your pops?
Yeah. So my dad's name is Kittrell.
Okay.
Kittrell style. So, but yeah. So I don't even know where Cedric came from. I think like my mother saw some English name and thought it was dope, and so it's like said he said. That's how it came about.
It worked, man.
No, that's cool.
So, like, tell us a little bit, because obviously everyone knows who you are. You've done some of the most incredible things, period. But, like, what was young Ced like?
So I grew up in a little town in Carruthersville, Missouri, which is like the Boot Hill. My mother was a school teacher down there. I got a younger sister. And, we was always kind of fashion forward. Like my mom was, she was a young mother. So she, would shop out of the catalogs and make sure that we was always fly and Gucci, not with Gucci.
Yeah.
But we was definitely, for a small town, was like some of the flyest kids in the neighborhood. So it was that. But, a real warming environment. My grandmother, my mother's mother, cousins, all of us kind of live together, around in the same few blocks. Damn, this little bug is going crazy. So this
We see him too, actually. It's all over you.
It's making for great TV, I'll tell you that.
Really fucking with me, right? But grew up there until I was about 10. Then we moved to St. Louis, man. And so from there, just, the whole more metropolitan urban life, city life. And then went to college at Cape Girardeau and got out, worked for State Farm for a few years.
Okay.
Discovered I could do comedy and then went on and started my comedy career.
How were you as a State Farm agent? I'm sure everyone wants to know. Were you like, what's his name, Jake or whatever?
He missed his mark. He could have been the first Jake.
I was original Jake for sure, but back then we used to wear suits. We didn't wear the khakis.
Okay, yeah.
So we used to have to wear suits, but I definitely did car claims. And, I was one of these people that, try to take care of my folks. I always said, because black people came in with threatening them. I call myself bilingual because I spoke regular English and angry Negro. So, black people come in, I'll blow this motherfucker up. Y'all. Like, this car classic. You like, bro, that's old. That's an 82 Maverick.
Yeah. No rims, no nothing. Missing a
that's
cap
not a
before
classic,
the rim.
Yeah. That's old.
Yeah, that's old.
So right from State Farm, that's where you found out that you wanted to go into comedy? Like, were you already dabbling in comedy before that?
No, it was like I started State Farm, and then maybe about two weeks later, this dude that I knew, he basically put me in a comedy competition. One of them ones like, yo, I think you can do this. And he's, told me that, he was a comedian. So he helped me write my jokes or put the stuff I would say in an order.
Right.
And I went up and won $500 the first time I ever did it. I was hooked at that point.
That's funny,
Okay.
man.
Heck
That's
yeah,
funny.
man.
And you say I've seen you before. You said when you first started out, you had the small set, like you were struggling to even fill that 8-minute window of that.
Yeah.
Because I understand, and clarify it if I'm wrong, but I understand as a comedian, you have that. You got the 8-minute, you got your half hour, you got your hour guy, and you're paid based off of those tiers. So I understand you were struggling to even fill that first 8 minutes when you first came out the gate. So that's where I understand the singing, and you're the world-renowned pop locker. So I assume a lot of that came, along with
Yo, you can dance, man. That's like no joke.
Dude, you say Cedric the Entertainer, and like literally, and we'll play around a little more with the entertainer piece later on. But you got to think, man, this dude like legit is. Yeah, or you came up for comedy. You're gonna get way more than comedy. Like set up here doing cooking shows and everything to fill the 8-minute gap when he first started.
Exactly, and that's because the thing was, I had been to college, so the only money that made sense to me was the middle money.
Right.
Like so, it was the money for 30 minutes. So I mean, 8 minutes was gonna do it. I didn't have no jokes.
Yeah.
So I've got to figure out how to be up here for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm singing the whole Luther song. Are you gonna be? Are you gonna be? Are you gonna be? Well.
Yeah.
That's funny. All the runs and ad-libbing.
I'm running every run. Then I do a dance routine. I do about 5 minutes worth of jokes. So I'm looking at my clock the whole time.
Wow.
So, but question off of that though, how is that depending on who put that show together? If they're putting a comedy show together and you came up there and gave them a whole Star Search, solo, 4 minutes of your routine, like I mean, like how does that work? Do you get off stage and like that $54 that you thought you were gonna get to be up there, you got 29 instead because you only did comedy half the time?
If you do the time, you got to get paid.
Okay.
And that was customary. So the thing is that I add a little variety to it, but it was the most entertaining thing that people had saw.
Yeah.
There's some people that can do 30 minutes worth of comedy, and you wish they would have got off 8 minutes ago. Right. 8 minutes. You like, nah, you could have been done, bro. Like that shit was horrible. But at least, the stuff I was doing was funny, and I was adding comedy to things. And of course, just taking advantage of all the skill sets that I had.
Yeah,
so
right.
That was, I wish I was one of them dudes that knew how to paint a picture.
Yeah.
You know how you go to like the Super Bowl and
right. Yeah. Well, look,
I tell a joke.
Well, look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do know, like, bro, in this day of social media, bro, nobody's going to get on and start firing us up on Twitter because they be like, wait a minute, he said $54. So I need to correct that before we move any further and make sure everybody know that my basic math skills are in place. I said 54. I split it to 29. I'm in HR as a professional. So I was actually doing prorated math. So let's make sure that everybody understand before you start, because Dave also knows that I'm one of the people that will respond back said, I'm telling you. I'm not that guy. Like I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything to protect. Yeah, so I'm fully prepped for anybody to bring it. I will send a formal response back to you, and the sensitivity stuff these days, I really hope you can deal with it. So,
you gotta be ready for the smoke.
You gotta be ready for the smoke, man.
So you're doing these little comedy shows and stuff like that. What was the point that you were like, oh shit, like that flip around, that switch for you that pushed you to that next level?
Right.
It's a couple of things. I mean, of course, leaving St. Louis, going and performing in some of the biggest cities in the country, you start to get more confidence. Of course, came to New York, did the Def Comedy Jam, Apollo. Those shows give you a lot more confidence. Yeah. And then in Chicago, I won this competition called the Miller Genuine Draft. In the years before, it was people like Bernie Mac and Adele Gibbons and dope comedians had won. So if you won that, you was considered a legit comedian. And so I won the year I went. And so that was one of those things that give you a lot of confidence. But I wouldn't say my career didn't really change until I did those Bud Light commercials. That's when I noticed I went from kind of being like a star in just the hood or black household to a more like nationally known person.
Right.
And the first time when I did one of those commercials where I shook up the beer and it split on the girl,
Yeah.
that it won the Super Bowl, and I was like in the news, I was everywhere. And that's when you start walking through the airport and everybody everybody knows.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's dope.
So
man.
where did from there to like the Steve Harvey show and stuff like that, was that pretty right next to each other?
Yeah, they kind of, once I got hot, that all that stuff started to flow. I did a Steve Harvey show. I think that was 96, maybe somewhere. That was like 98 when we started it. And but me and Steve met like a few years before then, got cool, was running with him, and then when he got the opportunity to do that show, he asked for me to be his partner on there. I actually had a deal to do my own show, and yet I had saw him he had another show before Steve Harvey called Me and the Boys, and I saw how hard it was to keep a show up.
Yeah.
So I elected to go in the shotgun seat.
Yeah.
And so that I can watch and learn. And so that was actually really great. It's been a great learning experience. I mean, me and Steve been brothers ever since. So that's just been a real cool thing, like for me to learn how to rock television, build a career, all these kind of things based off riding shotgun at that time in my career.
No, that's dope. And I appreciate. I used to watch
Steve Harvey show
all
religiously.
the time.
Me too.
But I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna give him props for. I didn't know Warner Brothers was even a network until I was like, and then,
it was new back then.
Well, it was new, but then it took off so much that. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, all black people were like, oh, that stands for We Black. Like, we thinking that's our network. Like, I mean, we running with this, like the Steve Harvey on it. It's the main show there. Like, we're gonna click and we're gonna own this, and run with it. But no, the show, I mean, it was a great run, and the show was solid. Like, so
and it's still on the air. I mean, in many places you can still see the Steve Harvey show being played in syndication, which is great. And I think that is a testament to how good the show was and how people grew up on it, love it, and the characters. Terry, who played Levita Alizé Jenkins, Wendy Raquel, who went on to be on The Game and all those other shows. Just, everybody's still hella busy, man.
So how would you compare now? I mean, since that was your trial run, like you got the waitresses that always want to serve tables till they find out they can't carry a tray. So you go to that lower end restaurant, learn your craft, and then, you pick up and run with your own. So how would you compare your experience on the Steve Harvey show as opposed to what you're doing now and your maturity? What's taking you to, because you're still running it,
shows.
so you're now in the neighborhood.
You just hit with that 100th episode?
We did 100 last year, so we over that number now. But, now to your point, bro, it's like, you took all those lessons. You watch somebody, see what it is to run the show from top to bottom, having the writers, being able to control the executive side of what they want, being able to have different cast members with leads and everything, that they need. And so being able to, manipulate that. And to do a TV show, it's probably a staff, a crew of 150 people, So, and if you're the lead actor, you the lead dude, and the executive producer, you the man in charge. Like, so it is, that's what I learned, is to have patience, but be definitive, be a boss. And, I make sure that, it's all about getting the work done so that we can get to 100 episodes. We can get to 200 episodes. That's what we're trying to do around here.
Right. No, that's nice, man.
This is probably a very common question, but like, if you had to do if someone was like said, we have a sold out event for you today to do a comedy event, or we have you acting for this commercial, what are you choosing?
Choose the stand up, man. Like it is the thing that kind of started what it all about. That you grab that audience. If you get somebody live right there in front of you, and all them individual people can spread the word to so many other individual people. And it's a better movement for having a fan base for longevity. Like for me, like being in it 30 plus years, it all started from stand up. And I remember that, and I treat that as the thing. Now you would go you would compare bags. Now, don't get me wrong, you would compare bags.
Right. Yeah. He was like, same amount of time, a little heavier
So
on the
this is
side.
you said is this a commercial that could turn into one of them Sam Jackson Capital One campaigns?
Yeah.
Where I'm running for like 15 years.
Right.
Then I'm gonna go with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so
Exactly.
but if it's a one-off to a one-off, then the one-off is always live.
Yeah, no, that's the. But I mean, in all fairness, too. I mean, stand up, dude. Comedy. If you're a funny
Stand-up,
dude,
yeah,
it
but
translates into every. You know, like
every-
you can take that into every arena.
But the thing is, stand-up is probably the hardest industry
yeah.
in
It's
the
gotta be.
world. Has to be
It's
the
gotta be.
hardest thing in the world to break. Because I have friends with millions of followers that are comedians that
Right.
cannot do stand-up.
Yeah.
And they'll say it like, I can't stand up on
Yeah.
stage and do stand-up.
Yeah.
It takes a different breed to be successful.
And it's funny because you and I talk. You know, we'll be sitting there just chatting it up, and I tell Dave all the time, I don't deal well enough with rejection. You know, for me to step up there. You know, so I said, man, look, my first joke probably walk right out and be like, hey, if you don't start laughing, I can promise you, like, I don't really know what's going on. You know, like, so so for me, I think the hardest part of it, because I think you have some absolutely hilarious people. You know, on Earth just naturally, it's what they do. They don't have to write it. They don't have to, but it's that fear factor of stepping up there and having that ability to, one, deal with the negative side of what comes with it, but then the longevity of that I was good enough to weather that storm, and make something of this. So,
Said you got a top 5 in comedy?
Man, of course, it kind of it varies. If we talking about like current people or just my overall. Overall, I'm probably gonna have to go with, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, the late Robin Williams, and then the late Robin Harris, who was the one.
Baby Kids.
The one that inspired me the most.
Yeah.
So they're my guys right there. Like, I think that like really shaped what I want to do with comedy. Now I'm a fan of Chappelle and Rock, and Harvey and George Lopez. These are my guys right here. There's a lot of people I love, like to watch. But if I think about who motivated me to do comedy and who I wanted to be, was them guys right there.
The one guy, obviously, that you were able to share the stage with, and probably a good friend of yours, Bernie Mac. Where would you put him at?
I mean, Bernie Mac, he make a lot of people Mount Rushmore more. Of course, on the Kings of Comedy, he's with us, so we all go up there together. Like
That's the truth, though, man. That there is no, you cannot shave one of those faces off. Like it's a
that man. He just was legendary. One as a performer and as a good dude, though. Like I said, he was one of these people that early in my career. He just treated me like a little brother, and then we became more peers, and and started to do great things together, including including Kings of Comedy. But we had a lot of cool projects that we did together, man, and that was my guy.
I think currently, right now, we were talking about this earlier. Currently, there's probably not a top 5 for comedy that you wouldn't be in right now.
Yeah, I definitely recognize that. I know that, the business has this kind of ebb and flow, like, hot, right?
Yeah.
But I think, of course, Chappelle is up there. You got Kev, who's like, big juggernaut comedian.
Right.
And then, Rock. But I like, Deion Cole right now, like on fire. You know what I mean? Like killing it. Cat always gonna bring it. You know what I mean? Mike F's one of my favorites. These are guys. DL, one of my favorites. So I like a lot of comedians. So I know Bill Burr. Bill Burr. There's a lot of young dudes though. Like there's a lot of these cats that's kind of popping up right now. That's kind of good. Like it's like it's a dude with the country accent though. He's funny as shit though. There's a lot of good comedians out here right now though.
So a lot of hobbies you got going, right? So like I want to get into some of the hobbies. So obviously I know about Rider Gang. So I know you guys been doing the Rider Gang, which is pretty cool. Now,
yeah, man. that's dope. We started that during COVID. You know, Big P, anybody know Big Percy, man. He just one of these connectors. Like he wanted the connector of LA for sure, but the world in general. Like if you need anything, call Big Percy. He gonna have it plugged in, man. And so, you know, but he was one of these people that got us all together. We started everybody with old schools. Started out with just me, him, and Wiz Khalifa. That was the small group, you know. And Wiz happened to have, you know, what's she going? Y'all see?
Hey,
Y'all see?
How's it going?
She gotta go. Okay, yeah, that's Regina Hall from Best Man and all that stuff.
Oh,
So
that
anyway,
was just Regina Hall.
Yeah, I wanted to speak. I wanted to speak a little longer, but I ain't want to make it awkward.
I didn't even recognize. All right.
That
was a good little cameo.
You didn't see me. I was like, you didn't see me. I'm sitting there like, okay, yeah, we all here. Like,
yeah.
Go around the table.
Y'all wanted to play candy from when you walked in.
Go around the table. You didn't see me sitting here.
Yeah, that's funny as shit. No, but man, Rider Gang is dope, man. It grew, man. It grew from, like I say, 3-4 cars. Second week, we had 10, 12 cars, and then it got to the point it'd be 100 plus cars out there, man. We just rolling, hit the city, you know, Percy the leader. You know, don't follow, whatever you do, don't follow P though.
Yeah. What?
He gonna make all kinds of left turns.
Yeah, I can see it.
All you see is he just throw his hand out the window like this.
Yeah.
It's 100 cars back there. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
That's funny.
He gonna take a right through a gas station. You be like, everybody can't go through this damn gas station.
That's great.
That's funny, man.
Boy, wild with it, but we be having a blast, man. Everybody rocking their music. You know, got the cigars out, got the blaze out. It's California lifestyle. California Rider Gang, man.
Now,
That's
you
cool.
do golf beef with him too, right? Who's a better golfer, you or P?
You know what? I'm gonna have to give P a little love right here. I probably, I probably can get that money on him. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely be striping that ball sometimes. He caught me off guard. I didn't know that he really locked it in like that. Because I thought P be out there playing, and I played with him one day. I was like, oh, okay, he be striping that ball. Okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah, that competitive nature coming out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he do a lot of gimmies though. A lot of gimmies, you know. Good. We like, nah, bro. 8 feet.
Yeah.
You can't be 8 feet from the hole talking about
good. Yeah.
So Seth, this I really want to bring up to you because I just launched my own barbecue sauce called Big D sauce, and I know you and Anthony got like a sauce company and rubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
And I talked to P. I was like, yo, P, if I challenge him in a cook-off, what's the chance that he'll do it? He's like, if you make it like a charity and stuff like that, we may be able to do it. So I think we got to do something for the people where we see what's the better sauce.
I like the idea of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I grill a little bit. We mainly do the food and the seasonings, and we did it for the culture. So I don't really claim to be the one on the grill. I usually get my people to grill for me.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We got
this dude ain't on the grill either, man.
No, I'm not on the grill. Let him
okay.
No, we'll get you to Nashville. 404 Kitchen, one of the top restaurants in all of Nashville. We'll shut down the whole entire restaurant, and we'll do a huge charity event. He'll cook the food. You can do a book signing for Nashville, and we can get everyone out here for you.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Which will be good.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'll get my people from Blink Media to hit y'all up. They've been coordinating these for me. That'll be beautiful. That'd be a dope idea.
Yeah,
I like
that'd be dope.
Heck yeah.
So off the book, bro, because this man constantly adding something to the entertainer. So like we got we got a bucket that started out less than 8 minutes long that's now over 80 minutes long. Because he keep dropping something else in there. So you gotta spill it a little bit for us now that you have dropped the novelist title in the name now.
Yeah, exactly. Flipping boxcars, man. That's my book, man. It's you can grab it anywhere books are sold right now. You got But it's a novel. It's loosely based on my grandfather. Yeah, flipping boxcars
Okay,
right
hell
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So he was a businessman, entrepreneur, a very famous crap shooter, dice thrower, and a bootlegger. All in the late 40s. And so I kind of took some of the stories that I heard from my mother and my uncles, and then I fictionalized this whole tale of him doing this big caper against the Irish mob in Chicago. So it's dope. It's about, and the title is when you shoot dice and you hit 2 6s, that's called boxcars.
Right.
And then he also did a thing with some Pullman Porter friends where he flipped some train boxcars in order to pull this caper off. So they was flipping boxcars there. So that's like where the title came from.
That's kind of and it's kind of dope that you put that you honestly have that personal. It's not like everybody goes and writes a book. It's the personal tie in it. That like not only are you proud of putting a book out there, but now you're even more proud because you put that legacy into it, and it's tied to something that actually means something to you. So you're not just out here pushing pages. You're pushing part of who you became.
And it's unique to your point, though, is that it tied me to my family in a unique way because, like I say, he passed before I was born, but to do the research to get, even though I'm making up the story, I had to get a lot of things right, like timing, people, locations, buildings. Some of these things were true, and I just added to the storyline. Of course, that made me closer to him, made me understand my family legacy. Even that hustle inside of me, that idea that I want to do a little bit of this and I want to do a little bit of that. That's who my grandfather was, and it was interesting to discover that while writing this book.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I mean, you flipped the industry, and he's flipping box cars. So that's
deep, man.
That's dope, man.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's super nice.
So what's next for Ced? The world knows you are a man of multiple traits. What is next for Ced on the list?
Man, well, I mean, for one, we definitely growing this AC barbecue to a big brand. We actually just announced we're going to put a restaurant on Jackson State University campus.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay.
We got a deal going with Sodexo and Magic Johnson's company that provides restaurants on a lot of HBCUs.
Okay. So
we're getting ready to grow our brand like that, where we'll have the AC Barbecue brand on college campuses. We're doing the virtual kitchen brand. So we really trying to grow this company really big. We're about to be in Lowe's. We're in Walmart right now. So it's hustling that, really trying to hustle on the entrepreneurial side. The neighborhood's coming, whenever this strike is over, the neighborhood coming back. We know that we can be doing that. I got a couple of spinoffs. I got one with Tracy Morgan that's going to spin off of my show.
Okay.
And so I'm producing for a lot of other people now. That's why I was meeting with Regina. So I'm also creating stuff for other people as well.
I'll tell you a funny story about Tracy Morgan. So before I got started in hip hop and music and stuff like that, I used to sell security systems. Now I sold Tracy a security system. He had ADT at the time, right? And back in the day, it wasn't like technology that you can close your doors or lock with your phone. You had the key fobs.
Right.
So Tracy lost his key fob, so he calls me up, and he's like, "All right, can you drop off a new key fob?" So I'm like, "Sure, I'll bring a key fob over." So I'm pulling up to his house, and he's backing out of his driveway, and he smashes into his other car. With his one car, he hits his other car. But he gets out of the car and he goes on this rant. I was dying laughing because the rant was so funny and he was cracking jokes while doing it.
Right.
But he was so upset at the same time. And just to think that stuck with me just for forever. I was like, yo,
meanwhile,
I saw Tracy hit his car with his own car.
With a new fob. Here you go, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, here's your fob, bud. Sorry.
Oh, that dude, was this in the Jersey house?
Yeah, in Jersey. Yep.
Oh yeah. He got too many cars as it is. That's probably a reason. I was like, boy, you act like that Walmart money, truck money. Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
he a good dude, man. He's funny as they come and a legend, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up with the we're casual sippers of
Yeah.
all things. So the Seta, am I saying that
Yeah,
correct?
man. Seta wine is based off my mother Rosetta. I did the wine for her. That was 2019. I started that.
Okay.
Partnered with some a great vineyard, Smith Devereaux, up in the Napa Valley. We introduced the wine, and now we've been growing it. So that was the Napa grapes was a little more expensive wine. It's like an $84 bottle.
Okay.
But we just now introduced the California Setas, so red and white, and we now have wines that are a little more affordable. $26, $22 for the white. So right now, that's what's going on. But you can order it online. It's beautiful, man. It's another thing. My mother was an educator. She wasn't a big drinker.
Right.
So whenever she would just have a little something to your point, she would just drink a little wine, and she would always say,
yeah,
toast the glass with a touch of class.
Right, yeah.
We put that on the back of every bottle, toast the glass with a touch of class, man. So that's just
awesome.
an homage to moms, man, and a way for us to give back. We, my sister and I, we give back through her, my mom's Red Rose Reeves Foundation's literacy program. She was a reading specialist. So we do books and book giveaways and literacy programs and support those kind of things all around the country.
Man, you're out here making her proud, man. You tied the family back.
Yeah.
You done dropped the new novel, so it ties right back to like the family even more than what we kind of talked about a few minutes ago.
The thing that I learned most so far today, like you are generally a good dude, man. You got like a great heart, which is awesome. Like you're the king of comedy.
Said I didn't think it was any different before today. I don't know what he had in his mind. That dude got hit like, man, I don't know. I mean, I heard him say it was awful. So let me go in here and just clear the air with me.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think there's enough white hats in the game no more, man. Like, everybody feel like it's important to, to play the villain and be the tough guy. You know what I'm saying? But I just like being real, man. I just like being, understanding that empowering our community, uplifting our folks, being down with people that's trying to make good in the world, whatever it is that they doing. Like that's who I like to rock with, man. So that's just how I do it too. So and I try to do it having fun. I don't ever let it stress me out, none of it, man. So like it's a good day. When P called me and told me that, this is artist and this what he's doing. Y'all got a fun show. He's like, you gonna love it. Y'all good dudes. I'm like, all right, no doubt. We just figure out when to do it. I know we had to move it around a little bit, but it's fun being on here with y'all, man. Y'all do it right. Like this is a fun ass show off the top.
Well, look, man, I can't even let us even start to close out because I actually need to tie back a personal for myself because this went full circle for me more than you know. When Kings of Comedy came out, me and my roommate from college, we became, we men now. We got to move off. We were way too broke to be moved, like way too broke. So we move off campus, man, and every night for the first couple months, bro, I swear I'm walking in. I was like, oh, somebody got our furniture again. Well, no, we just couldn't afford to buy it. It just wasn't in there. So we had 2 lawn chairs, a TV, and occasionally we'd hold a session for our little antenna friends, a.k.a. roaches that would come out and sit with us. We didn't have chairs for them. We had our 2 lawn chairs, and but we sit there, man. No lie, say we watch Kings of Comedy every single night because it ain't much that a beer, friends, and comedy won't fix. So for he and I, we had our own personal struggles in our family. We had our personal struggles living there together, trying to figure it out, knowing we were going to buy one piece of furniture a month until we were ready to move. But for us, that justified our existence and get up and do it again. So, man, I'll tell you why I got your attention. Never thought I would ever have your personal attention. So I appreciate it, But for me, even back then, bro, like you're changing lives, not even knowing, that you're changing lives. I literally had the thing memorized. So like I have 4 of my favorite guys on screen, and literally all in one. This thing wraps back around. So I appreciate it for sure, man.
That's dope, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's interesting because you don't really think about it whenever you're doing art, right? I mean, even this, you guys, like you creating something, you'll look up years from now and people will be like, yo, they was influenced by just the vibrations that y'all give off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of those things, because when at the time you doing it, you don't realize that's almost 25 years old right now.
Right.
The Kings of Comedy.
Right,
That
right.
stuff is,
Yeah.
and yet it still resonates. It still is one of these things that people be like, yo, I just watched it the other day, man, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or had those kind of stories. Here's funny, quick story. Mystical, he didn't know that I came out to Here I Go. So he said he's sitting in the movie theater and watching it like everybody else. And when I come out and his song go on, he said, man, I lost it, dog. He said, I had tears. He said, it was just too much. He said, I was crying, I was yelling.
Yeah.
He said, I couldn't believe you had put my song in that movie.
Right.
And I was like, oh, like it was just one of them things that, you know, for me, I was, you know, like at that time, I was definitely the youngest one in the group.
Right.
Everybody else was doing Motown and grown ass songs, and I was on that.
Yeah.
I was on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Here I go. Here I go. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man.
That's
Big
crazy,
up. So
man. So
that's real.
all right, man. Well, we won't keep you too much longer, Ced. Again, man, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it meant the world to have you on as a
For
guest,
sure,
man.
for
And
Yes, sir.
again, if anyone, I mean, everyone knows you, but now, like, if they don't even like you as much, I promise you, they now love you even more, man, because you are the freaking man, bro.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
do you got? Any last words, D?
We appreciate you gracing Nashtyville with your presence today. We're
man.
now we're looking forward to you actually getting to.
Yeah, we're gonna do a big event, and then
I like it.
Yeah.
And then I think you coming out to Nashville would be a different experience the next time. Or I don't know if you've been
for
out to
sure.
Nashville a bunch, but you come out here, we do it right.
Yeah.
P will tell you.
Oh, for sure. No, it's legendary.
Yeah.
No, it's a legendary town right there. I had a blast. You know, I shot my last special there in the one I did in 2016. I shot it at the Ryman.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Dope venue.
it's bad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely a town I'll be more than happy to pull up in. That's for sure.
Hey, let's
Hell
make it
yeah.
happen, man.
Mhm.
All right, y'all.
Hey, we
All right.
appreciate
Let's
it.
get it.
Hey, I'll holler.
Appreciate you, Ced.
I'll
I'll
holler.
holler. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right.
I'll
I'll holler.
Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. N-town, Nashville, and I stay proud now.